Good Monday morning.
Somebody's ready and raring to go.
Football season.
Still fighting.
And I'm all fired up.
Yeah, I mean, I almost didn't come in today. I don't want to get hit by friendly fire.
The Cattell Marte fans out there need to take a break.
High school football fans. Everybody.
Dale, I've got stories from this weekend, man. I'm just a man of patience. You know me as your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys, and he might be getting nervous. The Dallas Cowboys backups look really, really good. Mm-hmm. So hopefully it translates to their starters out there as well. And the best part of it is, Dale, you came in here instead of going to the casino during the show. We appreciate it very much. Dale Hellestrae's here, everybody.
Good morning, Steven. I mean, I thought that's what everybody does. They call in sick to work. And, you know, I was driving in, I heard John Holmberg talking about it. And it's like when you're a kid and you're sick and you call in sick to school.
Yeah. And
then all of a sudden somebody sees you at the mall at 10 a.m.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I started feeling better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I threw up and I felt better. You still stay home. Perception.
Bring the party to you. That's all it is perception.
That's all it is.
Bring the party to you. And again, we'll get into all that stuff.
Yeah, we got to talk about it because just the way it's lit up.
Yeah.
I was even caught off guard at how much lit. And I was ready for anything. And I was even caught off online. How many people just like, I had one guy that agreed with me. He kept repeating everything I was saying. And I'm like, dude, we agree with each other. What are you still mad at me about?
You're saying the same thing I am in different words.
And you're mad at me about what I'm saying. Like, what's happening right now? I think this all it does is tell me this Marte situation. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
Because my stance on Friday night, I mean, trust me, I was at a high school football game and I had people, he wasn't the only one, texting me about it. And it was just like, what is happening? And then the thing that catches me the most is how polarized people are about this Marte situation. I think it says a lot about people's perception of reality out there, and people's perception of your sports stars and your expectations of them out there. I think it's a fascinating deal because there's nothing more polarizing right now than bring up Marte's name and watch the differing opinions and how people get upset about it on both sides. It's an amazing thing to see.
Yes,
Dale.
it is.
And it's just, and I'm just sitting here going, I have nothing to do with it. We'll get into that as well. Dale's going to have commentary on Twitter warriors out there that I ran into this weekend, both on the high school side. My favorite part, it's football season. These are 15, 16, 17, sometimes 18-year-old kids playing high school football out there. Just from the sideline, Dale, yes, I'm going to have some comments about some SCA parent. I just don't care if you hate me when you see me at your games. I don't care.
Oh.
So just the behavior of some of them, and and then online behavior, and it's just like, what is happening out there? So we're going to get that commentary from Dale coming up as well. Everybody just take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath.
It's almost September. We're going to be back in the 70s. Everybody can chill.
Maybe we're going to be back in the 70s. Last night I'm sitting there and I'm scrolling. Me and Autumn went to dinner. We got tacos and I'm scrolling through it. And it's like this week, above 112 all week.
Yeah. But they know their weather like they know the back of their head. I mean, come on. The storms moving through last night. Quiet all week long. Just hot.
They said last night and tonight. Last night was 20% chance. Tonight, 10%. And then they said no chance of rain the rest of the week.
Yeah. Okay.
You
I'll
don't believe
bet
that?
you right now the $10 that Ethan gave me change. I'll bet you that there'll be something happening Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I know. I was sitting there last night, and then I even saw they're like, okay, this storm's rolling through Central and the West and the East and the West Valley. So I'm like, all right, cool. We're free. We're fine. Like 10:30 last night, I'm like laying down in the bed. I'm getting ready for the show, and at 10:30, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna lay down, get some sleep, whatever. My windows sound like it's going to break again, and just rain coming down, dust. And I'm like, I thought this was only rolling through the West Valley.
50-mile-an-hour winds. Jeez.
I'm just like, what is happening right now? It is an amazing thing to see out there. But hey, hopefully you're having a good Monday morning out there. And all I can say is, man, like even that Cardinals game on Saturday night, we were there, getting back into our multiple football weekends. Got to get adjusted to that.
Yeah.
Drove out to Pima, Arizona on Friday night, Dale.
Yes.
The SCA got their first victory of the year. We'll talk about that. Obviously, Coach joins us on Wednesday. Maybe they have a game this Friday. Maybe. How weird is that?
It's
story?
usually only the first. Because I was talking with my son-in-law Alex, who's down there, and we could get into it right now if you want.
Yeah, no, let's go right into it. High school follow-up here. I'm now a limited schedule. The big boys get started this week, meaning 5A, 6A. Most of them get started this week. 2A and some 3A schools started Friday night.
Almost
Thursday
all
and
of
Friday.
2A and 3A.
Yeah, exactly. So big boys start this week coming up and everything. So let's get into it. Yeah.
Before you even get into that, I did see where another 2A team that was, I believe, on SCA's schedule forfeited their game.
They play them this week, Dale. That's why I said they maybe have a game this week.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about weather.
Nope.
I didn't know if they were on their schedule for sure, but
this Tuesday.
Now that's two teams on SCA's schedule.
Tonopah, well, we don't know what's going on with it yet. I know Mike was trying to get a hold of their coach to find out.
Yeah.
So interesting story. We'll skip ahead to this week then. They might have a game this week. They've already lost Glendale Prep. They've shut down their varsity for this season, and no kids and stuff like that. I think 4 or 5 2A or 4, maybe it's 2A and 3A, but 4 or 5 schools have shut down their varsity programs this year after the schedules came out. So there's no place to. There's really no way to replace them unless you go to a higher level.
Because
everybody else is spelling
the 2A and 3A, they don't have a bye week.
Yeah, and so people can't say we'll add you into the schedule.
Yeah.
Their schedule's set.
Hey, we have the same bye week. How about we play a game?
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So and then it was a weird story. We're driving out to Pima like 3 hours before game time. Odyssey, I don't know the whole school name, but it's called Odyssey.
Odyssey Prep, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But or Institute something. They're getting ready to pack up and drive out to Tonopah Valley. They're loading up their buses. And they get the call. We're canceling our game tonight. The game gets canceled. Nobody knows why, Dale. Nobody knows why.
Right.
I did see a couple Tonopah Valley players respond to some tweets out there. A couple of them follow me, and I follow them back, stuff like that. A couple of them said, the speculation's ridiculous. Our game was canceled. We have the players. We were ready to play. Something happened that we're just not going to discuss. That's all that's being said. And we know if you follow Twitter, Mike's reached out to the coach like, hey, is everything all right? Do you have a game this week? Is everything okay? Blah, blah, blah. No responses back or anything.
Right.
So we don't know if they have a game this week or not. We don't know what's going on with it and whatnot. Yeah. So, and Tonopah Valley it's a big school out there, like 303 and
right.
whatever.
They've been very competitive. They've been a playoff team.
Last year they were down. Last year they were down as they were, a lot of graduating kids and kids transferred to bigger schools going into last year and everything. But yeah, so we don't know. But there's something going on in high school football right now where
especially at the smaller school level.
Yeah, exactly. Big schools, of course, are finding kids. And even then, Saguaro had a hard time finding enough kids this year. Their roster is pretty thin.
I think they're only playing a varsity schedule.
Yeah, so I can tell you this. I mean, school out. I won't name the school, but the school out by me. No JV team this year because they didn't have enough kids in the JV program, so everybody pulled up to the varsity team. Yeah, and this is a big. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to out them. But you could figure it out. But it's happening even to the 6A schools with that play good competition.
It's fascinating. I'm going to have to give a speech here in a couple weeks on a Saturday night at a banquet, and I was thinking, part of the speech would be they want to know about me.
Yeah,
and I'm going to talk about my life. And at Saguaro High School, when I showed up in 1977,
I was born that year, the year of Stephen.
1977. Saguaro High School. They back then it was 3A was the top conference, and then went 2A, single A, and then BC. Now it's whatever, 6A, 5A, whatever it is. Doesn't matter.
It only went to 5A when I was in high school.
It doesn't really. But we had a varsity team that had about 45 guys. We had a junior team with 30 to 35 guys, juniors that couldn't make the varsity team. A JV team with 45 guys, mostly sophomores. And then we had 2 freshman teams, a freshman A, freshman B, both had 35 kids on their team.
Mm-hmm.
If we didn't have 2 freshman teams my freshman year at Saguaro, I don't make the football team.
Yeah.
Because I was small and I matched and I complemented my lack of size with a lack of speed. And so
deadly combination.
And so I would not have played. And now you're talking about, Saguaro High School that can barely get 40 kids out for their program, and it's
not just so. Like I said, I'm just telling you, it's not Saguaro. They're like a school out by me that we follow. Oh my goodness! Sorry, everybody. I loaded my computer up, and there you go. No, it's a big school out by me. It's just something's happening. Yeah. Whether schools are getting too thin, but football's not viewed as the sport everybody wants to play like it was. Like when I was even in high school, kids were trying out for football that had no interest in sports, but because it was the thing to do and kind of be known to be on the team and stuff like that, that's all gone by the wayside. And it's interesting to see how it goes.
So Friday night, what's fascinating is you went out to the game and there's always something that happens. And this, I was telling Alex, my son-in-law, this predates Alex's tenure at SCA, which he came our second championship year. Was
that his first year? I couldn't remember if he was there the first year.
No,
okay.
So it's the second championship, third, and going now for a fourth.
Yep.
But before that, the opening game always had something. 1 year we drove down to Santan to play. We got the first half in. That's one of the first years that you and I knew each other.
Yep.
And we play the first half. Wait,
and perfectly fine. The game was delayed by about 30 minutes too. Because remember, I went to the gym. And everything. So the game was delayed 30 minutes, and they got the full not a drop, not a sign of lightning. The whole first half.
Yep.
Halftime came, and it was like, what?
Yeah. And we waited for a little bit, and they said, we're not playing today. You got to come back tomorrow. So we have to drive all the way back to SCA. And by the way, Santan is pretty far out there. It's 5 minutes from your house, you said, or 10 minutes from your house.
10 minutes, yeah. Power in between Guadalupe and Elliott.
And so that first game took 2 days.
Yeah.
There's been I know last year against Pima, it was delayed forever and ever.
Second half didn't start till like 10:56 or something.
Because Pima said, we're not going to drive back to Pima and come back and try and finish second half.
And Dale, I got it last year, but I especially get it now.
Yeah.
That's a long
drive. That's a long drive for SCA.
That's a long drive just to my house.
Yeah.
Let alone all the way another hour to back to the school.
But it's been that way for like 10 years. It seems like the opening game is always there's something. So they get evidently, because I wasn't down there, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but Alex said before the game it looked kind of iffy.
Yeah, well, so like we got there at because there was a convoy of cars. We didn't factor that in. I was like, oh, there'll be no traffic. We'll get out there quick. Well, apparently we got behind all the SCA people. Driving slow through the mountains through Globe and stuff. So we got there about 6:35, 6:40 time frame. So about 20 minutes beforehand.
Right.
But about 10 minutes outside of Pima, just torrential downpour. And I'm like, oh, crap. Lightning. You can see lightning everywhere. And I'm like, oh, crap. I checked the weather app before we left.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, crap. But once we got through that, it was fine.
Okay.
So I must have rolled through Pima, about an hour, 45 minutes before the game, probably type of a time frame. And then once we got there, it was fine. But during the game, big old lightning out in the distance. So you look, and it's going away from them. So they didn't call the game or anything. It was a beautiful night. It was perfect weather.
Okay.
Bugs the size of Texas out there. I swear to God, I saw a small dog just get taken off.
So the game goes off without a hitch.
Yeah, no problems.
And you can talk about the game a little bit, but SCA won. They evidently looked pretty good. Running the single wing. Some guy in his basement's determined what offense. It's the same offense they've always run, by the way.
Never changed, but apparently they've changed their offense.
But more multiple. I watched a little bit of it. They got more motions and more formations and
different formations, but the motions were different. I did not watch the game film afterwards. I'm actually planning on doing that today.
It
I didn't have
seemed
time
like
this weekend.
It seemed like some unique formations.
Formations were different
that weren't in when I was there.
Yeah, they were different formations and stuff. The offense has changed; it's evolved. But I didn't notice the motion differences. But it's also hard to see at Pima. This isn't a knock on them, but their visiting side of the thing is.
Do they have a track around the football field?
Yeah, they do. So you're far back and stuff like that. And I could have walked across the track and gone over there, but it was the first game. I was hanging back a little bit. Plus, if I would have walked out there, it would have been harder for people to see even more so with me out there. The game happens. Let's just get that out of the way. They win. We'll talk about that in a minute because Coach comes in on Wednesday. But then, Dale, I get in. We go get gas at the Speedway right across the street there. And we're getting gas, and we get on the road, and like 2 minutes down, and we notice the bus is still there. The field lights are still on. I'm like, that's weird. They usually turn those off fairly quick after a game when people get out of there and all of that. And everybody, all these parents from SCA are all filling up at the Speedway and getting their drinks, and everybody's congregating there. We get on the road, and I get a text from Dale.
Said the bus. Charter bus, not the little white bus.
It's an I'm going to blame the company. It's an Aero bus. It has Aero down the side, big, huge, glamorous, soft seats busing. I saw it there all game long. I looked to my left, and it was just sitting there in the lot, sitting there. Beautiful bus.
Well, the whole game it sat there, and nobody checked to make sure that it was running. So that game over, they load their stuff on the bus, and they try to start it, and it doesn't start.
They usually leave those buses running for a long period of time.
Or they'll start them at halftime to make sure, hey, if there's an issue,
we can get it fixed.
We got a second half to figure it out.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and apparently they started up afterwards. So I texted Dale back and said, I got room for two. But then there was a bunch of SCA parents there, and a lot of them have minivans and big Lincolns. We were behind a Lincoln the whole way out there.
Right.
Stuff like that. Like, we could have crammed everybody in at some point. I mean, could you imagine those smelly high school players sitting in your car? Sweaty,
and
gross.
you having to drive them all the way to SCA.
That was going to be my caveat. Yeah. I got two, only until Signal Butte. And then you guys got to figure it out after that.
You can put them in the basement, Steve. Nobody even know they're there. But come to find out that they bring parts. The parts aren't the right parts.
Yeah.
So they spend the night at Pima High School.
Yeah. No, not even in the gym, Dale.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, open up the gym, the basketball gym.
Yeah.
Let them sleep on the floor. They're kids. They don't care. They'll sleep on the floors. No, not even on the floors.
Yeah.
In the classrooms.
In the classrooms.
I'm not knocking Pima for this. It just seemed a little like, why not? I was like, why not put them in the gym? Right. I'm not knocking Pima. They were great. They opened up the doors for them and all of that.
Well, here's what I know. Like, if that has happened at SCA, they'd be put up in the gym, and the athletic director, coaches, whatever, would go get food and stuff for the players to feed them. And
I'm sure they ate.
I don't know. That's what
was something open that late?
Yeah, see, that again.
The Speedway. Let's go get ho-hos from the Speedway.
Suffice it to say that Alex got back home at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning.
So I knew they were stuck there for a while. We got home about midnight, 12:10 or something like that. So that's still another hour if you live up in Scottsdale.
Right.
We got home about 12:05, 12:10, something like that. So I was just like, they're probably on the road by now, whatever. I wake up Saturday morning and I see that they're still there. They're loading up the buses in the morning.
Yeah.
That's rough. So the opening day problems.
Yes.
So they also had problems with refs, and stuff, but they overcame that. I like how Mike was all team building. My question for Mike's dad had like an Airbnb or something there. He went and rented an Airbnb or something to stay in overnight.
Oh, really?
He didn't want to drive back at night. He drove himself. And he lives far West Valley.
Yeah.
And so it would have been longer for him. So he stayed at, and I'm part of me is wondering, like, did Mike go stay at his dad's, where his dad was staying overnight for a comfortable bed, or did he stay in the classrooms? So first of all, good job for Pima for opening up the school and doing the right thing and taking care of them. And I mean, I'm sure there's bad blood between Pima and SEA because SEA's beaten them. Really good Pima team twice in a championship game and stuff like that. I think, so I think, I'm not saying there's bad blood, but I know both coaches respect each other and they,
Yes.
and stuff like that. So I don't think there's bad blood between. But could you imagine if that was like Santan Charter or, one of those schools where there is bad blood between the schools?
Good luck to you.
Sorry.
I'm going home.
Yeah, turn the lights off. You got parking lots right out front there. So that was an interesting side story, but that's part of the experience, though, right?
Yeah, small school, high school football.
Yeah, I would actually argue, and I'm not. This is even different. I would actually argue, probably would have rather because it's dark. It's dark to drive that route. It's late. Like I said, we didn't get home till 12. They wouldn't have gotten home till probably 1:30 with a bus that rides slower and stuff like that than what Miss Autumn was driving. Just leave it that way. Yeah, Robert, I see your text there, Robert. I see your stuff. No, we did not take my EV, by the way, because we would have had to stop and charge it. It's so I thought it was an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes from my house, Dale. I thought it was closer to Globe than Safford. No, it's right next to Safford. So I was off by about 30 minutes. So it took us 2 hours and like 10 minutes to get there and back.
Okay.
So 4 hours of driving on Friday night. Yeah. What the heck? With the convoy of people. Yeah. Meanwhile, we're waving at him as we're getting off at Signal Butte. Enjoy the next hour of your drive. So anyway, so it's just interesting how that stuff happens in high schools. But I would argue it might have been good to just stay overnight and just drive back in the morning.
Right. As long as you're not all stuck on the bus or whatever.
Well, that's the thing. Could you imagine if they were halfway home and the bus breaks down?
A lot of things could have been worse.
Yeah, things breaking down there. They could have gotten 30 miles down the road and been just stuck there halfway between Globe and
you can say that now, but Friday night around 3 o'clock in the morning, you're probably like, I wish I was anywhere but here right now.
Then you just got them playing a football.
Yeah.
One kid got hurt, probably, from what I was told, probably an ACL sprain. Imagine him, right? He's sitting there on crutches and everything, just sitting there.
I doubt they're bringing out the IVs with good old fentanyl in it. And
yeah, like what is that? How it's just like, just terrible. You're just sitting there imagining like fun experience. Like you'll look back at it and fond memories and stuff, but in the moment you're probably just grumpy as all heck. But I was thinking about it though. I was like, it wasn't a huge SCA crowd, but there was a lot of people there and a lot of big vehicles. I mean, that's the problem. Well, they have a roster of 90 Dale, so it would have been hard to fit everybody into the cars. So I have to watch the game tape and everything. Because like I said, I didn't see the motions in person because I had to stare over. They have some tall kids on that team this year.
Right.
Even I was all at times. But overall, great game. And a great game is what I mean by is coaching matters. We've talked about this a lot here. We talked about this with the Rattlers, with Coach Guy driving us on Friday and during the season. When the things are going against you, when it's not going right, good coach can turn it around for you, meaning the way you've coached the kids and gotten them ready. And went from a sloppy, first game type situation and things going against you in the first half to that second half where you just take over the game and you start doing it properly. You start advancing stuff. And you start breaking down the other team out there. It's an amazing thing to watch when you see it in person. I saw it with the Rattlers. I've seen it, now with SEA the last 3 years. We've seen it with a couple other teams. Coaching matters, folks. And we talk about it all the time with Torrey at the Diamondbacks and the Gannon last year with the Cardinals and Petzing. And, they just couldn't get out of the way in the fourth quarter. A good coach will get you there. You might not win the game, but you'll turn it around. And it was actually fun. If you saw my video, I interviewed Coach after the game. If you saw that video, he talks about it. Just the adjustments they make in the game. They move players around during the game. Like, okay, this isn't working here. They didn't take him out of the game necessarily. They just like, okay, you're going to go to, so right tackle is going to go left tackle, for instance. Like, you're going to move over here. We need more help on that side. And that stuff just worked for him.
Right.
It was an amazing thing to watch in person and see how it goes. So, it was fascinating to see. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, and I think I talked about it maybe at Friday's show, the fact that, remember now, NFL gets 3 preseason games. Most people say they're worthless. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. Well, not only are some guys trying to make a team, but it gives you a chance to get your snap count in rhythm, get things going, so you have a well-oiled operation. There's still going to be miscues in the NFL on opening day.
Cardinals on Saturday night, 3rd preseason game, and it was just sloppy as all heck.
Yeah.
Miscues galore.
Especially that first half. And so how can you not expect that from a high school team they remember their scrimmage got rained out.
Yeah.
So they didn't even get to scrimmage against somebody.
And the first guys they're hitting against are bigger, stronger than them. At least Pima. That's what I mean. Pima's got some big dudes, folks. Well, even I'm like, oh my God, I'd hate to go against that guy right now. And I'm bigger than him, and I'd still hate to go up against him. One guy got hurt for Pima. He got up and jogged off the field. But he's on the ground, and he gets up and he stands up, and just like everybody around him, like just went, like shrunk even more. And I was like, anybody check the birth certificate on that guy? Is he really that?
Well, those last couple years out of the SCA, we obviously had a rivalry with Pima, and what was fascinating about it when I think back to it, we went 2-2 against them.
Yeah.
They beat us both times in the regular season, both years.
Yeah.
And we beat them both times in the state championship.
Mm-hmm.
One pretty convincingly, another one that had to have a lot of things go our way.
I mean, pretty convincing. I mean, it was a nail biter. They were coming back in that one, so it wasn't like you were, up by 60 and had it in the hand. Like you were, even then, you were like, oh, if they don't fix this, they're gonna struggle a little bit. They could come back into this and possibly win it and stuff. But I think it was I think it was an interception. Pipsqueak got an interception to kind of blow it open at that point. But they were hard-fought battles.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. And then you're driving 3.5 hours to get there, and your first game on top of it. So you're already excited, maybe a little nervous getting there.
Oh, yeah.
Then you get there, Dale, and I swear to effing God, I don't think there was one play without a flag thrown.
In the first half?
Second half. Both halves. I think I saw flags being thrown on the drive home. It was ridiculous.
In your dreams?
It was ridiculous. To one point, I heard somebody on the sideline go, are they going to eventually run out of flags to throw?
Their arms are going to get sore.
And that's why I want to talk about the parents here in a minute on that side, because it's like, all right, guys. It was great watching one parent look at a group of guys and go, all right, guys, enough. It was so great to watch. But it was just flag fest. First half, it was all against SCA. If SCA did anything, it's like if Pima did something and SCA responded at all. I'm not talking about hitting them or anything. Turned around and said, refs threw a flag, unsportsmanlike or whatever they wanted to call on them.
Right.
Every big play that SCA had was a flag in the first half. It was like, oh, you went for 15 yards, flag. And they were like late flags on top of it. And it was just like, all right, guys. Like, I'm not saying there's not penalties, and I don't know. Some of them I couldn't see, some of the holds that they called. But even then, like, the only touchdown scored by Pima, and I got to look at it on film. I don't know if you saw it. I haven't seen it yet. But I saw it live in person. Ball thrown to the receiver.
Oh.
Right through his hands, hits his jersey, falls straight to the ground. Pima picks it up, runs it in for a touchdown. Yeah. The ref said he caught it, made a football move, and fumbled it. And I'm like, I was staring right at it. It wasn't even close to that.
Right.
Then later on in the game, it was either, I think it was a punt. It might have been a kickoff, but it was a special teams play. Number 17 for SCA, who's only a freshman, folks. Kid runs fast and he hits. Lays out the guy who's running it back. Refs down. He's down. He wasn't even close to down. And it's just like, all right, this is how it's gonna go. All right. But then, and I even heard the refs, take note, AIA. I even heard the refs right off the bat yelling at the SCA sideline. I'll throw you guys out. Like right off the bat. I'll throw you guys out. 30 seconds into the game. They're yelling at the SCA guy, who are just talking about the game to the refs. And then at one point, I heard a ref. First of all, he wanted a ball, and he wouldn't stop yelling ball. Ball, 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 ball. And it was like, dude, take a chill pill, my man. But he only did that to the SEA side. The Pima side, he was all, oh, take your time, guys. Throw the ball in. It was like painfully noticeable.
Right.
Painfully noticeable. And then at one point, the clock wasn't running when it should have been. And somebody on the SEA sideline mentions it. Hey, the clock. The guy literally turns around, looks at the sideline and goes, I run the clock, not you. Shut up. And you could hear it all because you're right there by the sideline.
Yeah, they're not 80,000 people.
And you're just sitting there like, what a bunch of pompous asses. Throw your flags all you want, whatever, be clowns, I don't care. But that nonsense that they weren't doing to the other sideline was like pretty prevalent. But then Mike at halftime, everybody goes into the locker and Mike's standing there talking to the head referee. Mike's talking to the head referee to the point where I was like, somebody needs to go get Mike. And it's a cordial conversation. Nobody's heated.
Right.
And then the head referee starts walking off, and Mike and him just walk off, like all the way to off the field. They're just walking together. It was a good 5-10 minutes of walking off with the ref and stuff like that. And I asked Mike that after the game. Hey, what was the conversation? He goes, I just wanted clarification on a thing. And I'll tell you this, Dale. The refs came down and evened it out in the second half. So whatever Mike said to him woke them up that they're being biased little asshats.
Are you sure maybe the head referee wasn't the owner of a hotel?
No, this is my, yeah.
And I say we might need some rooms tonight.
It was, and I'm not saying they were cheating, anything to that effect. I've heard throughout the years, I've heard it going to this game beforehand. You get to these rural schools and the refs are from that area.
Yeah.
And so they're going to favor those schools. You know it going into it and stuff to that. I've never seen it in person before, and it was so prevalent. And there's AIA people were at this game. I saw them. And it's just like, how do you allow this to happen? Maybe they had a conversation with the halftime. I was like, guys, even flags all of a sudden started flying on Pima in the second half for similar things and stuff like that. It's just fix it, man. I know it's the first game of the year for the refs too. I get it. But it was so blatant the way they were treating the SCA side. And I'm not saying this because I was there. You know, I cover SCA, obviously, and stuff like that. I'm not saying that because of that. I'd be saying if they treated Pima this way as well. It was an unwatchable game because of the referees, because the way they were throwing flags, the way they were treating one sideline and not the other was just pure garbage. And these are high school kids that you referees are cheating when you do that crap. And it's stupid. It's ridiculous. Fix it. Fix it.
Well, what's been a problem for as long as I was a part of coaching high school football, 25 years, you go to the small rural towns. AA has an official shortage. That's why they're going to Thursday night games, Friday night games, some Saturday games. Because in the Metro Valley, the fact that they just don't have enough officials.
Yeah.
So in the rural areas, it's even harder to get officials.
These referees from Thatcher area.
Yeah.
They're just 5 miles away.
Yes.
Everybody, you left Pima and you went, if you're staying overnight, you went to Thatcher to stay.
I'll never forget the first time it ever happened to me.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know, 15 years ago. We're playing up at Camp Verde. And I hear the coaches from Camp Verde yelling at that referee, not complaining about a play. Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Bob, you missed that. How do they know his name's Bob?
We're on for Wednesday, right? Poker night, right? All right, see you Wednesday, Bob.
What kind of beer you want after the game?
I've heard it. I've heard of it. I've heard rumors of it. First time seeing it in person was unbelievable. It was just unbelievable, just garbage. SCA rose above it. I'd be saying if it was on Pima too. Referees, the game isn't about you. Dale, SCA would have a 10, 15-yard play. Play would be over, flag. Oh, you couldn't have thrown that if you saw that before because the guy ran 10 more yards when he decided to throw that flag. And it was just prevalent. It was just ridiculous. Like I said, I will give them credit, though. They switched it. They switched it to a lot of calls against Pima in the second half.
Right.
And so they just switch it. But it's like, dude, come on, man. These are high school kids. We're all there to watch them play, not you. We're not here to watch some fat referee turn red, yelling for the ball incessantly. I'm not sitting there for the 30 seconds into the game after the opening kickoff where a flag's thrown, and you're threatening to throw out the opposing team's head coach and people on the staff on the sideline and everything. It's not about you guys. Knock it off. Settle down. It's ridiculous. You're grown men. These aren't young kids. A lot of times you go to these games and it's a young kid out there refereeing his first game or multiple games. No, these are older gentlemen acting like this. And it's sad to see. It's sad to see in that environment out there. Which then goes to say, to show you how equal I am here, I get it. Last time SCA was a Pima, I did not go to that game. Questionable flags at the end of the game. Let's put it that way. Pima lined up for a field goal. Missed it. Flag was thrown late. They gave him another chance. They ended up scoring and winning the game. Now, we'll just sum it up like that. More stuff happened, but fine. There were parents on the SCA side when the flags were... And it was excessive fouls, don't get me wrong. You're like, oh, of course, another one. Oh, no. Just constantly up and down. They're following the ball down the field, just yelling this stuff at the ref, like a group of them.
Right.
And I'm just sitting there like, whatever. Head players, whatever. I'm doing my stuff, whatever. And they're probably going to watch this and be like, he's talking about me. But it was great, Dale. I'm down there on one end, and they're doing it. And they actually, it was fourth and it's like 4th and 5, 4th and 3, and Pima gets stuffed right at goal line. So they don't score. And they throw a flag late. And they're like, oh, and then it was against Pima. And I literally watched this parent, saint of a gentleman, turns around and looks at these guys, looks at these 3 gentlemen and go, all right, guys, enough. And they're like, you weren't here last time. He goes, you're right, I wasn't here last time. But enough. Guys barely complained about the flags after that. God bless the guy that spoke up.
Right.
It's just like, stop. Again, it goes to the same thing as the referees and everything. You're there to watch your kids play. Yes, you want it fair. I don't have a problem yelling something, but it was obsessive.
Right. And what's the middle part of your name?
Well, if you want to add that part to it.
Yeah. Well,
I try not to do that but I get it. People judge them that way. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. You're representing something.
Yes,
bigger on top.
And you do. You're expected to you're expected to act differently.
Yeah. And I don't do that because I don't think it's fair to do that. I
do.
But yeah, I know. But a lot of people do. But you're right. It's a bad look from that side. So it's just like, I know first game jitters. We're done. Let's move on with it. From those 2 perspectives and stuff like that. But it was a great Friday night. Weather was perfect. I'm not kidding you. Bugs were ridiculous. Dale, I don't know where these bugs come from, what volcano they come out of. But it's fun. And Pima's facilities are amazing. For a rural school and everything. There is absolutely fantastic school.
Is there a turf field?
I know, it's all grass.
Okay.
Yeah. Little long grass. I noticed the grass was a little long. Slow down, everybody, a little bit.
Yeah.
Slow them down. Their home side for a rural school is amazing to see. The visitor side, lacking a lot of aspects. But I'm also all for that. Make the visitors struggle a little bit. I'm okay with that.
You're coming down here. We're not going to roll out the red carpet.
I'm not going to argue about that. I kind of was like, all right, good play. I stood the whole game because there was no place to sit or nothing. If you sat, you wouldn't be able to see anything. But very personable people down there. Fantastic there for Pima. So you got to give them the credit for hosting the game, obviously, and their attitudes and their support and stuff like that. It was fantastic to see.
So now SCA goes from that, and again, not a good night's sleep Friday night. Get home Saturday morning. I'm sure they're caught up by today, but now they go into a week not knowing what's going to happen.
As of yesterday, no idea if they have a game or not on Friday night at home. This is a home game too. Yeah, at least as of last night at like 6 p.m. No idea. I don't know if something's changed since then. Yeah, it's a weird story. Nobody knows what happened. It's very hush, which. Rightfully so. If it's something bad, we don't need to know about it.
I mean, obviously, you would hope if it was, hey, we're lacking numbers or guys that aren't showing up or whatever, that you could give them a heads up before they're all dressed and loaded up.
That's the thing. They were loading up their bus, which tells me it was the last minute.
Yeah, that something happened.
Yeah, something happened. That's what that tells me is something happened because that would have been done beforehand.
You would hope that if that was the case and they're playing the season and all that, and that was a one-off that Mike and the SCA team would know by last night this morning.
You don't want to see Glendale prep shut down the
No.
varsity team. You want to see these guys out there playing.
Right.
I told you the Coronado Dons that they used to be in their division with before they removed them out and stuff. If that team had numbers, if that team had players on that team, they would have been formidable foes. They were good.
That's great athletes.
They just didn't have the players they had to play the whole game, everything. They literally would go from offense to defense to special teams.
Oh, yeah.
And played every play on everything, and the kids worked hard. They just didn't have the numbers to compete and stuff like that. And you want to see that stuff at this level. You want to see that in all sports. Especially on the high school level. And
teams
stuff,
like, Coronado, which is located in South Scottsdale.
It's got a big enrollment, Dale.
Yeah, and it's a lot of Hispanic people. Their soccer teams, baseball teams are
Those
always
the bigger
competitive.
Sports, yeah.
But the football teams, I know a couple guys that coach there. And they took it on. It was a reclamation project, and they want to build it up, and they used a lot of their own money to do things. But here's the deal, guys. As a kid, you're expected to show up practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
But some of these kids had to go get a job and work to help keep the lights on at home.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? You missed Tuesday and Wednesday practice, but he's telling you, it's to keep the lights on in my family's house.
It's the reality of the situation.
It's like that. That's the reality. It hits you square in the face. So
that's the thing. You're not going to be like, oh, pay attention to me. Who cares about that?
You're running.
So anyway, that was my Friday night. Saturday night was Cardinals, the Cowboys, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I noticed something, and somebody tweeted this as well, but I noticed something different about walking into Cardinal Stadium on Saturday night. And somebody else posted it as well. Somebody that used to work at Channel 12, who's left, and now is over the Barrett Honor School, was there. Or not Channel 12. Was it Channel? It might have been Channel 12. Jake Garcia. He left there recently to go be at the ASU thing. He noticed it as well. So we'll talk about that coming up. Also, at least without the Cleveland Browns. We're going to talk about them here this morning because what a roller coaster ride their weekend was, culminating this morning as well. And then Dale, your Diamondbacks, 2 out of 3. But
I don't care who dresses for the Diamondbacks. We just win, baby.
Really quick as we go to break, Ann says 113 for Wednesday for the first Frosh game. Can't wait to sit in the bleachers at 6 p.m. Good news is the home side will probably be in the shade by then. It's just still going to be hot out there as well. Robert says Dalehausen needs to buy SEA a bus that works. This was a charter bus, people, is what this was out there as well. Robert says no need for the 1977 shot. Robert's older than you, I do believe, if I may say. So now he's going to get mad for that, but he's around your age. And everything. Hey, the year of Steven. Not a shot. That's the blessing.
How on earth does Steve take a story all about
That's
me
the blessing for you
Steve
out there, I think. Robert does say, should only be 111 by 6 p.m., man. All right, Robert says, gas, Mr. Environmentally Conscious was driving the EV. Forget to charge it? Not driving the EV. Yeah, no, the bigger issue is even if I charge it to 100%, I would have had to have stopped and charge it. And I ain't trusting chargers in Thatcher, Arizona. I'm not trusting them. Autumn drove us in her car and all that stuff. So, yeah. Oh, Ant says it is an away game. Yeah, Desert Ridge's first 2 games are on the road, I think. They're on the road to begin their season there with their new head coach there as well. So, come on back, folks. We keep it rolling. Lots to talk about. And we're back here. Main events here on this Monday. Just getting caught up on some high school stuff. Santan Charter blew out Apache Junction over the weekend. Woo! Like 60, I don't know, 65, 66 to nothing, I think. Apache Junction used to be like a playoff stalwart.
Yeah.
Recently. It's a recent fall for them. And I think they're still 4A. They might be 3A. They're 3A now, I think. But they were 4A at one time.
Yeah.
But Santan Charter, woo, they have a freshman quarterback, Dale. He looked good out there. Woo! 2A is going to be fun this year, man. 2A level is going to be fun.
Yeah.
So is 3A with Chrisman and the Ben Franklin schools out there. And there's like 3 of them that are going to be good at that level. 3A is going to be fun, too. The lower tier. It's not all about, obviously, everybody's circling Bashan, Chandler, and Hamilton, and those schools. But lower levels can be fun too, folks.
Right.
As well, coming into that this week. So there we go. We'll talk more high school as the week goes on. Of course, Mike comes in on Wednesday, but Dale's taking the end of the week off. Dale, I have a question for you. I didn't ask you this last week last time we talked about it. How are we long going to be at this thing coming up this week?
See, we don't know. That's why, and John, pushed for you to come because he said it'd feel a lot more comfortable if you and Autumn were there.
Yeah, because my buddy, my buddy Giesek.
His good friend Steve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can come meet you, guy. I just won't obviously go to the functions and stuff. I can hang out with you afterwards.
He wants you to be there too. He wants you to be everywhere.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, Dale. Mark Davis reached out and asked my availability, and because Giesek asked, and I said, you know what? Helly doesn't want me there. He doesn't want me to overshadow him. I played as many games as Helly did in a Raiders jersey. He doesn't want me to overshadow him.
I got paid a little bit more money from them than
you did. You did. Yeah, you did. Dale's going to a Raiders reunion. I'm going to call it a weekend, but leaving Wednesday and through Saturday there for their preseason game coming up. I know when I talked to you about it yesterday, because you were reminding me, I go, ooh, Ashton Gentry just blew out his ACL reportedly.
First thing I'm not, hey, it should be fun, Dale. Enjoy Vegas. And, hey, Ashton, you going to see Ashton Gentry?
My first thought was after we hung up the phone was like, oh, man, Harry Long's going to be there.
Jim Plunkett might be there.
Oh.
Marcus Allen.
Yeah, no.
Tim Brown.
Howie Long. That's all I care about.
Howie Long lives up in North Scottsdale.
Does he still live? I didn't know if he still did. Does he? And he goes to L.A. for his.
Yeah,
for
he's like a recluse.
Yeah, well, yeah, you never see him around town.
He's turned into a super, super, super nice guy.
He's turned into one.
When he played, he was an arrogant, really good SOB.
Yeah.
But no, over the years, I've seen him at different functions and all that. And again, I've met him. Talked to him a few times, remembers my name. How are you, Helly? He calls me Helly
nice.
and all that. So, but boy, when he played, I don't know if there's a more arrogant cat.
Well, he earned it. I mean, he backed it up. Let's put it that way. He backed it up.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about Tim Brown and those guys. Yeah.
Well, so everybody knows, and they do this every year. John and I decided let's try it.
Well,
this
John
year.
Giesek, let's be clear. We know a bunch of Johns in our life. John Giesek,
John
who was at the Raiders. You got him to trade him to the Cowboys.
I got the Cowboys to
trade for him as well, and then he went to Washington after the second Super Bowl.
But he was in Los Angeles when they were with the Raiders when they were in Los Angeles. Played about 5 years there, and so he knows a few more people than I do. And but last couple of years we talked about it. Said I don't know. I'm not going to know anybody, but maybe you do. And so I said, hey,
maybe you'll see the trainers that were nursing your injury.
I don't know. The trainer's about 70 years old when I was there.
Yeah, well,
I don't think it's around anymore.
It's Mark Davis. They keep everybody for a long time. That's all I'm going to say.
We said, let's both go together, bring the wives. That way, if we don't know anybody else.
Yeah.
So we're flying in Wednesday.
Yep.
They have a nice dinner, cocktail party Wednesday night. Breakfast on Thursday, games Thursday. Go sit in a suite. Food and drinks. Friday, if you want to go to the Aces game, you can. If not, you got free time. And then we'll come back on Saturday and say, let's try it.
Yeah.
It's what I'm trying to get the Cowboys to do.
Yeah, no, that would cost money, Dale.
Well, definitely. Jerry would fly you in and he'd lop on to somebody else's charity dinner. And,
exactly. And your suite would be with, you're in the suite, but you have to entertain my clients that are in here.
We're splitting you all up.
One player in each suite. No, that's what's fantastic. That's why I wanted to bring it up on air. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because it is amazing how some teams take care of people and some teams don't.
Different organizations. Yeah. And again, I'll reiterate one more time because I got an email reminding me I can get free tickets to a Baltimore Raven game if I want to go.
And you were there for 3 games.
Yeah, 3 games. 2 D games and 1 B- game.
And the Raiders, you didn't even play a regular season game for.
And yet I get emails and all that. Cowboys, they did have alumni day in training camp. If you want to get yourself to Oxnard, California, you could come out and stand at a practice and watch them practice.
Hey, you probably had to stand behind the ropes. You see where the fans are? Well, we're not going to put you with the fans. You're going to be next to the fans, though. Next to the fans over
right
there.
behind them.
It's amazing. That's why I wanted to bring it up. It is amazing to see the difference because it's just like man, if I was an NFL owner, I'd have every player that's played for you be like, you come to anything you want, get over here, because you use that as leverage for your sponsorships.
Okay, but tell me
this,
Steve, and it's interesting because I brought this up with another guy that's from Dallas, not associated with the Cowboys. To me, Jerry Jones's main success was in the 90s. 3 Super Bowls in 4 years.
They won a lot of games and was the talk of the town. Was everybody wanted to be Cowboys or liked them or hated them. Constantly there.
5 or 6 years, we were us and the 49ers, the cream of the NFL.
Yep.
Now, to me, that would be a reason to celebrate. Like, I've always said this about New England. You win 7 Super Bowls, you can't have a reunion for every one of them.
No, but every player that were on those teams would be, hey, you want to you come to a game, you call me and you're in.
Yes. Not I'll give you 10% off a ticket.
No, you support, especially when you win.
Yeah.
But I would even argue it's more important when you don't win.
But see, that's what this cat brought up. He said, do you think Jerry just doesn't want to be reminded of the glory days since it's been 30 plus?
Because like the Cardinals bring back players, and I, who've had season ticket holders since '96. I see who's there on the club level, and I go,
yeah.
But
hey, be careful. That could be me.
But well, yeah. If you weren't a media personality, I'd have no idea who you were. I'd go to a Cowboys function and be like, long snapper. It's not a knock on the player, but I'll tell you this: people talk to him. People go up and do it. Some people will remember them.
Oh yeah.
Some people will do that. But more importantly, right? Oh hey, kid, this guy played for the Cardinals. You weren't around. He played for the Cardinals, Sun Devils, 90s, whatever.
Right.
Here he is. That goes a long way for your fan base.
No doubt.
And stuff. And then add to it, Raiders have made Super Bowls. They won them with John Madden back in the day, and they've made Super Bowls since, right? And stuff. But just having guys there just reminds you of those times.
Yeah.
Seeing Tony Romo, Dak Prescott, that's exciting, sure.
Yeah.
But Troy Aikman, I'm sorry, whole nother level.
Michael Irvin.
Whole nother level.
Yeah.
And even if you don't go to that level, John Giesick, Dale Hellestrae, 17 years on the Super Bowl teams, you might not have lines down around the building to see you, but you're going, this is what these guys did, and people will want to come by. And I mean, I met a kid on Saturday. I don't know if he's a kid. He's probably in his 30s. I ran into a guy Saturday night, friends of a friend of ours, who instantly was like, oh, Helly? Yeah, I work with him Monday through Friday. And I was like, I'm done with you because you didn't ask about me, jerk.
Do you realize I was born the same year you went to high school?
Yeah. Year of Steven. And I'm just saying, especially when you aren't winning, I think that's the time it's more important to roll out that stuff.
Yeah, it's fast.
On the jumbo, just imagine this for a second in Cowboy Land. On the Jumbotron, boom, goes to a suite, and they just flash the name up there. Even if most people are like, who? There will be people in there going, oh, that guy played in Shante Carver.
Members of the 1995 Super Bowl team up in the owner's suite.
But even if it's only a couple where somebody's
right.
like, hey, I'm in Dallas, I got my family, can I come to a game?
Yeah.
Absolutely, come on in. Cowboys, if you don't know, go, here's 5% off. It might be cheaper for me if I go to the Dallas Cardinals game. It might be cheaper for me to buy tickets through the secondary market than get
tickets from
the Dallas Cowboys offer that Dale will give me. Oh. I just don't get it. I don't get the layout on this stuff. But Dale's gonna go do that and everything. The only one I even like I said, I care about is Harry Long. Yeah, me and Harry Long could be best friends. Maybe that's why Giesick won't let me close to him.
And John and Howie used to battle. They used to battle.
How's that relationship now? Because they went obviously offensive line, defensive end.
Well, like I said, how he's become a very nice, humble guy in his elder
Yeah,
years.
but his kids having success probably humbles you down a little bit too, doesn't it? Like when you see your
his
kids having success.
I mean, he had kids that made it to the NFL, which is God bless him. That's an unbelievable family. But the one thing he can say is, "You never were as good as I was."
Yeah, exactly. Where's your Hall of Fame jacket?
Yeah.
How long was the one in his speech that said baseball may be the national pastime, but football's the passion of America, or whatever, however he phrased that as well in his Hall of Fame speech. So Dale's going to go do that this week. That'll be fun. That's exciting.
Yep. And meanwhile, you'll be sitting on pins and needles to see if you're driving SCA on Friday night.
Well, I got that. If I don't go there, I got other options. I got other games I'm going to go to. I'm going to go cover if I have to. I've already looked at the schedule, figured it out. I know where I'm going to head to.
You got alternate sites?
I do. I actually do. It's the sad part. Robert says, I'm only chronologically older than Dale Hellestrae as well out there. Top of the hour. I'm slacking over here. Let's take our break. Come on back. Look, seriously, NFL stuff, Major League Baseball stuff. Let's start with the Diamondbacks because I want to get this Marte thing out of the way because I'm annoyed by it. Come on back, folks. Main event.
Angry
Second hour
Steve
coming up next.
fixing to come out.